I just wish there was like a light back here. Is that, you know, it just looks like a terrifying dark corner. Like this looks like it could be some kind of demon. All right, does this light help? Light. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are gonna do a good old-fashioned fails video. Resin fails. I know you guys love these. I honestly love them too because you guys are always telling me in the comments of these videos that they help you, and I totally understand why, because I'm literally telling you, like, do not do this or it will turn out like this and it's horrible and it's a purple exploding boob. We all know what I'm talking about, right? If you don't, check my other Resin Fails videos. You'll find it. Today, I'm excited because we're going to get into an update of something that we made in a previous video that you guys asked me to update you on. So we're going to do that update, and it works out to be in this fails video. So for this fails video, so if you are interested in seeing my absolute failures, my projects that just did not work out and why they didn't work out, then continue watching. I think we're gonna start with the thing that I said was going to be an update from a past video. And I'm assuming you guys know what I'm talking about, but we're gonna talk about these. And if you don't know what these are, I did a video testing out, or rather kind of doing the difference between putting dried flowers in resin versus fresh flowers in resin. And these pieces were the fresh flower pieces. So we'll start with this one. I'm counting these all as fails because, and I think it's gonna be obvious. What was really surprising to me in that video was that so many of you said that you didn't mind the fresh flower pieces, and I think with better lighting you guys will be able to see, and obviously it's been a lot of time since then. My eyelashes keep like hooking to the bottom lashes and then like trapping my eyeball in between. It's horrible. Aren't you guys just craving my makeup tutorials, my makeup videos? It's gonna be ridiculous. Anyway, so I just looked at when I posted this video on my channel, and it has been 2 months since this piece has been put into resin. So this is what it be looking like. Just as a refresher, let me actually grab the dried piece. I believe this was the dried piece that we did. Yeah, because I wanted to do them in the same shape, the square. So this is what the dried version looks like. Stop trying to focus on my face through the resin, you're ridiculous. So just as a comparison, you know, it's pretty brown. So anyway, I'm not gonna get into that like review again, but I did just want to kind of update you guys and show you that obviously, you know, I saw you guys in the comments saying that since there's moisture in a flower, obviously over time it will get worse, even if it looks okay at first like this does. This was the Queen Anne's lace that we did, and it looked okay at first, but it has since then turned kind of a brown green color. And this is the Lisianthus that we did. I can't remember if this has gotten worse or not, but I feel like it has. It was yellow when we first did it, but I feel like it's taken on more brown tones. But I do think that this is the worst, and I consider these fails just because, you know, they're brown and poopy colored, right? Am I right though? The next fail that I have is this one, and I was trying to make one of the pocket mirrors. Again, we made this in a previous video, but so I was trying to make a pocket mirror. So we have a really pretty poppy on the front here, and then on the back is where the fail has happened. So with the ring light, if you look like directly at the light, you'll see how kind of wavy and bumpy it looks. And that's how it looks when you're looking at it in the little mirror. So what happened with this piece is that I made it with hard casting resin. And I was just, like, I test things all the time. I try different types of resins. It's still a CounterCultureDIY resin, but it's their hard cast. And I was just kind of testing out what it would look like, putting a mirror in it. And since it is hard cast, it takes 48 hours to cure. And it takes longer. So what I stupidly did was poured it in, and then later I had to move the mold to somewhere else on my table. And since I moved the mold, or like squished it, you know, because it's a silicone mold, it moved the resin that was in the middle of curing, so it created all of these like ripples in it. What? You know, liking my pictures on Instagram to
look, Heather,
being here.
you're on the big screen. Whoa!
That was my mom. She was snapping me a video of my brother watching me on their TV, which makes me, that's how much it makes me cringe. Why can't I talk? Okay, the next fail I have is this. This is actually a super oldie. This is super old. This is when I first got into resin. So I was just trying to make like little, you know, ornaments. And why this is a fail is because there is not enough resin in there. So what happened was when I put the ink in, it started to bow the piece. You can kind of see how curved it is here. It goes in quite a bit and it's kind of wavy. So when it cured, there just wasn't enough resin, and there was so much alcohol ink that it just kind of like, it didn't know what to do with itself. I can relate. But yeah, so when you're making pieces like this, and if you're gonna put alcohol ink in it, make sure there's enough resin in it. You can see how like thin this piece is and how little resin I put. So this was just me like figuring it out. And I can still kind of bend it around because it's so thin. So definitely when you're making resin pieces with casting resin, make sure you're using enough resin. Ooh, am I gonna hypnotize you? Make sure you're using enough resin so that it doesn't get thin and bendy and bowy like this. Okay, the next fail I have will be no surprise to anybody, but I have another sphere fail. And you guys know that I am constantly testing out how spheres will work, or how I can get them to work perfectly. So this was a fail. Actually, I think this was another piece from a video. I'm testing out all of the failure pieces for you guys so that you guys don't fail. This was for another video, and the reason that this is a fail is because when you do sphere pieces, the molds are usually in two different pieces, so you'll have a seam right in the middle here. You can sand that off, that's a whole different topic. But what I did was I only put a little bit of resin on the bottom here, and then I put the flower face up in the sphere, and then I let that cure for a little bit, and I put more resin in, and then I filled the rest. So when you look into it from the top, you want to be able to see the flower really well, so you kind of want the flower to be up higher. In these sphere molds, you'll have like a little hole at the top. So here's one half of the mold I'm talking about. You'll have a hole right at the top to pour your resin into, so you'll have, when you pull your piece out, you'll have like an indent here that you'll have to sand off. So instead of putting the flower face up when you put your flower in, put it face down, so that instead of having this like jagged little part at the top, you'll have like the nice flat at the top. See how like pretty it looks? Well, not pretty, but how you can see the rows really well, like right up front. Put the flower face down into the mold. I feel like that was way over explained. But spheres are hard to do, so I try to like give you guys as much information as I can. I see you guys commenting and asking for tutorials on how to make a sphere. I'm working on it, clearly. I have fails, so we're gonna get into it. I don't know why I keep like going to hypnotize myself with these pieces. This thing is so heavy. Anyway, okay, and I believe the last fail I have for you guys is not a resin piece. It is actually a mold. So I don't know why I just announced it like that. That was really cringy and weird. But the reason that this is a fail is because, oh my god, this was for a video too. This is where I like failed making molds of stuff that I found at Goodwill. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should totally watch that because it's hilarious and awful at the same time. But this is a fail because when I pulled the heart dish out, it ripped some of it with it. And Honestly, I'm gonna be upfront, I don't know why that happened, but the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I have heard that when you have a mold that you may have messed up a little bit, you can cut this, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know, I've never tried this, but you can kind of cut and like rip apart this mold. Instead of throwing it away, you can kind of take it apart, and the next time that you make a mold, you can use pieces from a past mold that you made to fill in space. When you have your mixed up silicone, you don't have to like use so much. You can use this as like filler, kind of, if you know what I mean. So the next time I make a mold, I can kind of take chunks of this and like fill it out a little bit, and then pour new silicone around the heart dish, and that'll make it so that you don't have to use so much silicone in the next mold that you make. I don't know how true that is, but I did just want to tell you guys that because this is a fail, and that is kind of a tip to succeeding next time. I hope that this video helps you guys next time you make pieces or next time you make a mold. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. It is at Artsymadwoman. I love you guys to absolute death, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.